you know, here's a short video for you guys who may be considering or maybe inquiring where can you get some cheap or inexpensive high quality auto parts. The Junkyard. I got these tires from the Junkyard about maybe 2 years ago, I think it was. When the cars come in to get dismantled, the crew at the Junkyard, they go over them and determine if the materials and some of the ancillary stuff is good. It's too good to either destroy, or if they can make another penny off of them. And they didn't pay whole retail for them. So basically, you're paying secondhand markup on the tires. So the Junkyard is a good place for some of you guys to get high quality tires. These are 235/75 15s. I got these, and then you won't even believe how I got these. It's a crazy story. Hold on a minute. So anyway, continuing with my tale, I got those tires. I went to the Junkyard in December, maybe a year or two ago. Can't remember precisely, but went to the Junkyard. And I was looking for some other parts for the for the GMC, the GMT, the General Motors, the Chevy Blazer truck platform. I think that's GMT 365 or GMT 330. I think 365 is the Blazer, the Jimmy, and the Oldsmobile Bravada. So I went over there. I was looking for some parts. I can't remember what parts exactly, but so I go to the cashier to go buy my merchandise, and then they have this raffle, this Christmas time raffle. Give the wheel a spin and see what you win. Okay, great. So I spin the wheel. It's like one of those Wheel of Fortune wheels, or one of those Price is Right wheels. It's got prizes. It's split up into individual pies and everything. So I spin the wheel, and the needle stops on one mark, right? So I say, oh man, it's not what I wanted. I didn't even read what the marker said, but I thought it said 10% off. Or that's the one I was aiming for, because that's the one that was next to the actual spot where the needle had stopped. I was aiming for 10% off or 20% off, and the needle just sat there. And then what happened was the needle had stopped on the segment of the prize that said win $500 gift certificate. So I just won $500 gift certificate at the Junkyard. So they put the money on a little plastic debit card after they run your ID, your driver's license, and because somehow they suspect fraud, or I don't know, whatever safety guidelines they put in place. They wanted to implement. So I give them my driver's license and show them who I am, and then they print the card up and everything. But now I've got $500 on the debit card at the Junkyard, but I hadn't planned on buying anything at this point in time. So I go back to the Junkyard like 2 weeks later with $500 on me, get the debit card, and like I said, I'm still looking for parts for the GMT 365. So what I have here is, at the time I had a window was busted out on my Jimmy, and so it would cost me at least $50 and probably $80 to $100 to replace the window on the Jimmy. But going to the Junkyard and I found 3 cars that were the exact same color. There was one Chevrolet, there was one Oldsmobile, and there was one GMC that had that, what is this called? Brown? No, it's not really brown. No, it's more like a champagne gold, I guess. So it was cheaper for me to buy the whole door. It's $35 for the door, or $80 to $100 to replace the glass. So I just bought the whole door, and then while I'm sitting there cashing up, I said, can I see your tire list? So I go check the guy's tire list. He's got some real good selections of 235s, 15s, and I think he had a couple of 16s, because I bought about, I don't know, I bought enough tires to fill the whole car. So plus with the door, and a couple of the stereos that they had sitting there in the front, because they take the aftermarket stereos out and they put them in the front to sell those also. Now you figure whatever Firestone Wilderness 18s cost new, they got to be at least $200. I think I paid $40 a tire, and they still had the nubs on them, so they had never been, well, they had been mounted on the wheel, but they had never been, they had never touched the road. So I'm like, that was great. So it must have been, I don't know, 6 tires I had purchased from them, you know, so 6 tires, and then the stereo, and then the door, and I still had money left on that dang debit card from that $500 gift certificate. But I'm just saying, if you guys want to find some real expensive, some real inexpensive, high quality auto parts, you want to hit those junkyards up. You want to hit that U-Pull-It. That U-Pull-It may be your, maybe a good friend of yours. I mean, just think about it. I mean, some of the stuff, you know, I mean, clearly everybody who's been to a U-Pull-It, they know what a U-Pull-It is for. But for those of you guys that never know, you know, that one junkyard also, what they'll do is they'll sell the fuel that's in those cars. You know, once they punch the tank and they drain the fuel out, they put it in their, you know, 1,000-gallon vat, and then they add some octane booster and fuel stabilizer. So what you do is you go there and you give them $25, and then they'll fill up your entire tank. Now, clearly, if you got a German car or something with high compression, this may not be a good idea for you. But if you have, you know, just a general American car, like an old Ford van, you know, the first generation Dodge Durango or a minivan where, you know, your octane rating and your compression rating doesn't really matter that much, but you do have a, you know, a 30-gallon tank or a 25-gallon tank. I mean, you go to the junkyard and you get recycled fuel for $25 for a fill. You go there, you know, with the needle on E, and then, you know, $25, get yourself 18 gallons. You know, and another thing they do is they also sell recycled antifreeze. Recycled antifreeze, I mean, what is Walmart asking for that? They ask maybe $11, $14 or something like that per gallon of concentrate. You know, maybe $9 for the 50-50. When you go to the junkyard and you pay these guys $3 per recycled antifreeze, it's not bad, man. You buy 3 gallons and get the 4th gallon free. I remember they doing something like that. I mean, it's the same thing. They'll drain the cooling systems when the cars come in. You know, they'll add the concentrate to get you back up to a 50-50 mix. You know, they have a filter in there, so they filter out the particulate and the corrosion and the scale and the rust. I mean, these guys, they know what they're doing, you know. And then from there, you know, $9, $10, get yourself 4 gallons of antifreeze. Depending on how many cars you have in your inventory and how old they are, it's not a bad deal. So, I don't know where you guys are located, if there are any in your area, but a U-Pull-It junkyard, you always got to exercise the options there, because they have some good stuff.